All opinions on the show are our own because we're some grown-ass men.
Welcome to another episode of the Team Lift Otaku Lounge with your hosts Zane Lopez and Roger McDaniel. Let's get right into it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Team Lift's Anime Roundtable. It's your boy Coach in the studio today. Got another special guest coming with you. As always, I got my boy Zane in the studio with us. What's up, Zane?
What up?
All right, guys, and I know you're probably noticing there's a guest over there to my left. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce you to one of our new con friends, friend of the Team Lift family, Miss Martha Coleman. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
Good deal. Now, a lot of guys, you may not know this, Martha is part of, the founder of Kira Entertainment, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, tell us a little something about Kira.
All right, so Kira Entertainment has been going on for the past 7 years. We've been bringing Maid Cafe and like J-pop performance services around the state of Texas for 7 years.
Right.
So we run Maid Cafes at various conventions. We've also done them at comic shops and festivals, local events in the Central Texas area.
Okay.
And so you come in, you're the master of the house, you are treated to exceptional service by ladies in maid uniform and gentlemen in, a butler getup. Mm-hmm. And we also do, playing games that you can find, in Japan, or like RPG card games. You get performances by cute maids and handsome butlers, and then we also do concerts where we put together our favorite J-pop and K-pop songs based on a theme. So our theme at San Japan this year was the Academy. It's a pun because it was schoolgirls and cat girls like shoved together because we couldn't decide on one, and we're like, why not both? Exactly, why not both?
The decisions.
Yeah, so we decided to put together songs that might fit, within a school setting. We have the songs that fit the school day and the after-school activities. And we're going to be working on a new show once we all get home from San Japan that might include a bit more of a cosplay element that we haven't really delved into before. So
cool. Okay, I like that, man. This is our second time hanging out with you and seeing you. We saw you at Anime CTX not that long ago. Love the performance. And then Rolando, our boy from our secret company, who we're not going to mention, EA, but he was there. He was there at EA, and we saw him perform, and it was so shocking. And that was one of the cool things that Zane and I said is, it's really neat to see people that we work with in this environment. I love the con environment. Mm-hmm. And now it's kind of like the con becomes your own little con family where we all, oh my God, I saw you at this one and this one this year. So it's definitely, and then when we talked to you at CTX, I was like, you got to come on the show.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to be here.
Definitely. We got something. This is a special episode. Lately, Anime Roundtable's been breaking down different genres. Mm-hmm. All right? And we're basically trying to get people into anime who've never seen it, maybe haven't, figured out that there are all these multiple genres.
Right.
Today's genre is going to be a little bit different. Now,
I don't know if this is a genre I would tell people to go into in the very beginning.
Yeah, no.
Once you like anime, then come into this. This will be like you watch this episode, then you save it in your watch later list.
Yeah.
Watch some anime, and you come back to read these suggestions off.
Yeah, now there are some people that are going to want to go into this because these are the kind of movies they already like.
Right.
Let's face it. Today's episode is called Cringe, and there are certain movies that out there when you watch them, you'll go, yeah. Whether you're just not comfortable with the subject matter or whatever, is just kind of cringe-inducing. Or there's a character in it that just kind of makes you, your skin crawl a little because you wouldn't want to meet that person in real life.
Oh, God. One of my picks is like exactly that.
A pick you have for today is?
Yeah, it's like skin crawly. I don't want to meet this person ever in my life.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. All right. So, Martha, you're the guest. We're going to let you start us off today. What would be your cringe pick?
Okay, one of my top cringe picks, it was an original 2-part OVA called Puni Puni Poemi.
That sounds cringy.
He knows Puni Puni Poemi.
Chris Bowles? Meet your new best friend, buddy. Meet your new best friend.
Honestly, I've only watched it once, but it has stuck in my mind for years. Basically, Puni Puni Poemi is a parody of like your standard magical girl series, but it takes it like to 200 so fast. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it's like this close to being a hentai, like this close.
Oh yeah.
What's that one called again?
Yeah, I'll send you to
Puni
you.
Puni Poemi.
I'll send it to you. It's on my watch list.
Because there's, I don't know like what this is rated.
We're
this show,
good,
but-
yeah.
We're
good.
17, 18 plus, right?
Okay,
Yeah, we're
so like Poemi has like 6 sisters, right? And aliens with like crazy genitalia capture the 6 sisters, and there's just this scene. There's no story advancement, no plot. All it is these like aliens doing these like terrible bondage things to the 6 sisters, and I'm like, was there a point to this?
There
Like,
was not.
No.
The plot's up here.
Yeah, that was pretty
That's
much.
the plot.
There's plot everywhere as far as Puni Puni Poemi is
There's a
concerned.
scene in there where you actually hear him say, "We got everything you could want: big boobs, little
Yep,
boobs,
yep.
kindergartners."
Oh my god.
She said, "I'm only 6 years old." That's what the girl says. And
Yes.
that really happens. And
Yep.
you're just like, why did I watch this?
Also, the English dub makes it like 10 times more cringy.
It does. And I suggest you watch it. That's what makes it so epic. The fact that I knew that when she brought it, I was like, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I will tell the story. I was managing a GameStop in Dumas, Texas.
Okay.
And it was it was the second largest GameStop for square footage.
Wow.
And we had movies in there. And we had an anime section. And that was in our anime section.
Oh, God.
And somebody had traded it in, and it was there. And I just decided one day, hey guys, after work, I'm just going to have an anime viewing party. You guys want to come hang out and watch stuff with me? And they were like, cool. And the store fills up after work, and it's a bunch of guys, and that was my pick for that night. And we laughed so inappropriately at that. But it was like we were scarred and bonded by that moment.
Yep.
Like, we couldn't believe it. And then one of them came and bought it. One of them came back the next day and said, I'm buying this. And I was
It was
like,
based on the creator just wanted it to be an expanded version of an episode of a specific anime. Let me pull it up.
was it? Oh, because
Because I hadn't watched this anime personally, but for those of you who have, it might shed some light on like what you might be dealing with.
I wanted to say, I think
It's an animation spin-off of Excel Saga.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I didn't like the way they handled this episode. Let me do it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it is definitely something you
Never
wanted to
again.
see one time.
It is a ride.
One time, just watch it, and then you can just be mad at me. Because there are things that happen in this show. I'm scared to talk about them online, but yeah, there's some things in this one. And you're right, it's right there.
It's so close. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's. And I don't even know. That's how bad that is. I've watched that, and that didn't even make my list for what made me cringe the hardest. That's sad. That is so sad. All right, Zane, what's your pick, man? What you got?
Is it Watamote, I believe? It's like the long title is like you guys' fault that I'm not popular or something like that.
Oh yeah.
That show is like, I do not want to meet a person ever like that in my life that's just like delusionally popular and yet like tries everything to be popular and fails horribly. But the entire episode, the entire show, I felt like I'm sorry for her, but I will never meet you. I do not want to do anything with you. And I cringed every single episode.
Really?
I was like,
see, I've heard a lot of my friends were like, don't watch it, it's awful. And I'm like, oh, okay.
oh no, it's
Like, didn't we talk about it
hilarious.
yesterday? Don't you like it?
It's hilarious.
All right, can you like provide like a counter argument?
There's not one. You don't
Okay,
want
all right.
You don't want to meet this person in
Yeah.
real life, but at the same time, you do find yourself like I think it's uncomfortable, like to watch her fail so much.
Okay.
And so hard. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's like
it's not
she
just like
fails
it's
so
not
much.
like it's not like you go and take a test and you're like, oh, C minus. It's like she went to go take a test and she forgot to fucking turn it in. Like, it's that bad of a fail.
Yeah, and then her shoes caught on fire when she turned it in, and things just go horribly wrong for her.
Oh,
And she
okay.
just cannot catch a break. And you at one point you feel bad for her, but the whole time you're just going,
You stay in that anime. You don't come out here.
yeah, you don't come out. Okay, mine once again. Gonna go for a deconstructionist, but man, this one here just jacked me up.
You really like the
Okay.
deconstruction lately.
I do, but this one here was one that I didn't even realize it when I watched it. School Days. School Days has what would happen in a harem if the guy actually did sleep with all the women, and it's horrifying what happens to him, and it's horrifying what happens to all these people, and it's like you're watching it and you feel bad for people, and then you're just like, all these people are terrible. Everything that happens to them is just terrible. But I cringe the whole thing. Like, I don't like it. Like, I started out liking him. Then I was mad at myself for liking him. And then the other girl, you just kept watching her, and you were like, well, she's lonely, but she's a terrible person, and I don't want to like her either. Oh my God, I'm bad. I'm as judgmental as these people. I really was just jacked up from that whole thing, man. And it was my favorite ride. I loved it. It's up there with Pony Pony for me. Pony Pony is going to be at least a comedy. School Days, there is nothing to laugh at. You're just like, this is terrible, and everybody in here is going to die eventually. A very, very violent death. And you're going to be okay with that. You're okay with it. They're just terrible people. I don't know why. I just love it.
See, how are you going to make an anime and have your audience not care if your characters die?
That was...
Like,
I had to question who does that. They did it, and they did it excellently. It was terrible. Like, okay, let's face it. I'm a person who, like, my sophomore year at college, I fixed my schedule to go around Days of Our Lives. Like, I took an extra semester just so I could still watch Days of Our Lives at that certain time of the day.
Oh
So I was into watching soap operas. Yeah, I was into watching soap operas. Everybody knows that story about me goes, wait, you took an extra semester? Yeah, because I had to be able to watch Days of Our Lives.
Dedication to your story.
And I was just like, hey, look, at this time, I cannot take a class. Days of Our Lives is on. So I took the extra semester. But I finished out that season of Days of Our Lives. I figured out what happened to Stefano and Bo and what was their name? Can't remember the two main characters.
See, I was more of an All My Children.
Now, that was Luke and Laura, or was that General Hospital? That was General Hospital with Luke and Laura.
Yeah, no, that was General Hospital.
Yeah, see? Probably watched a little ABC. I'm not saying I didn't. Class was out by then. I don't know what happened. I was alone that semester. Leave me alone. No, it was just, no, I did. I watched a lot of weird stuff. But no, that one, if you get a chance, you want to watch School Days, it's a soap opera, but nobody wins. It is just horrible people doing horrible things to each other.
Speaking of cringy soap operas, one in season.
Oh my God, what are you about to say?
You know what I'm about to say, but I don't know why I can't remember the name.
Wait, a soap opera or an anime?
It's an anime, but it's an anime that's basically a freaking like cringy soap opera.
You're about to say Netsuzuha Trap.
Yes, Netsuzuha Trap.
Yeah, Netsuzuha Trap.
It's like an in-season 9-minute per episode anime.
It's about the two girlfriends and it's very Yuri-tastic.
Yeah. It's cringy as shit because of what happens like between the two best friends from childhood and then their boyfriends. And then like one boyfriend's super innocent, one of them's a dick, and like all this fucking like conflicting feeling and cheating and shit happens.
Yeah, it starts like the two girls grew up together, and there's the one blonde girl and the one dark-haired girl, and the dark-haired girl was kind of always an outsider and loner, so the blonde girl befriends her. And then when the blonde girl gets a boyfriend, the dark-haired girl's like, well, I'll help you to get comfortable on dates to go out with. And then her helping her get comfortable becomes to, well, let me teach you how to kiss. And then it starts just progressing from there. And you're just kind of like, what am I watching? What is this about?
Right. No, I see that one sentence, let me teach you how to kiss, or let me teach you how to do this. And I'm like that sentence alone is enough to make me cringe. I'm like,
and you will.
Like, if you want to kiss somebody, just do it.
Yeah, well, in her thing, it was like, no, let me teach you. And then you're going, no, girl, you be doing too much.
Like, we don't need mentor/girlfriend relationship. That's not a good mix.
Yeah, it is so cringy. The whole time you're just watching it, you're just like, I don't like this. These are not good people. But their one boyfriend, the innocent boyfriend, has no idea what's going on. So he's getting cheated on. And you're just like, you find yourself like him. You're just like, all these people are terrible too. It's just like School Days. All the people are terrible except one guy. You got one person that's going to get hurt out of all of this. So they did learn that from School Days, which I kind of like that again. Once again, it's trashy. I know it's trashy, but it's trash that I'm willing to invest 9 minutes a week in.
Yeah.
Like, you need some kind of trash TV in your life at some point.
Yeah, this is my junk food this year where I was like,
Okay.
I'm going to watch this one. It's terrible, though. I will tell you right now, if you watch it, you will cringe more times than not. So, you have another pick for us?
Just the one you just mentioned, it's not on my list, but it reminded me of an OVA called Kiss Sis.
Why does this sound familiar?
Because I got into it because there was an idol group that debuted along with the show called Yui Kaori, and they're still making music, and I love them, and they're precious. But, like, I was like, oh, it's so cute, this is going to be a cute anime, and I was, like, in high school at the time.
Right.
And I started watching it, and it's, I don't know what it is with, like, anime and, like, pseudo-incest. Like the step-brother, step-sister thing. I'm like, no. But, like, it's these two sisters who are, like, twins. But one has, like, longer hair, one has shorter hair, and then they both really want to, like, get at their stepbrother. And he's like, hey, no, don't do that. And then, like, the entire series is them doing, like, ultra-sexual stuff to try and get his attention. And he's like, no. And I remember one scene, like, all the other, like, girls at the school, like, they're not into him, but somehow they get in these really awkward, like, not even remotely, like, sexual situations, but it turns into that. Like, he got locked in a shed with some girl after PE class. And they were trying to crawl out the vent in the top, or like to crawl out the window. And she was like, oh, I really have to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, please, no, don't do it. She peed all over him. And he's just like, why is this my life? And I'm like, why? Ugh, like, I watched like 3 episodes and I tapped out. I was like, I can't make it through another one, man. Like,
I don't want to tell you, but I had the manga for a while. I found a scan of it, and I read the first like 3 chapters, and I'm like, I'm not gonna finish this.
Yep.
I'm not doing this. Because it starts off with you knowing his sisters are like, their plan is to get him in the sack.
yep.
And I was just like, I'm not doing this.
Nope.
And I know what you're gonna say. I know what that made you think of, because you're looking at me with that look.
I love this anime, but it's so cringy at the same time. I don't remember the full title, but it's shortened to Oraimo, and it's just I can't believe my little sister can't be this cute.
Yep.
That one, I loved it because it was a harem for like 90% of the anime, but then you go and watch the last 3 episodes, which aren't on Crunchyroll, and then it
That
becomes
should say something.
Yeah.
it becomes the cringiest shit ever. Like, the entire time is all suggestive. There's no literal, like, oh, me and my big brother, we're gonna,
Yeah.
until you get after Crunchyroll. Because Crunchyroll ends it on a decent note.
Okay.
Crunchyroll ends it on a decent note. And then the last 3 episodes that aren't on Crunchyroll, it's just like, y'all went there. Y'all motherfuckers went there.
Yeah, man,
Y'all
but
went
that's the
there.
problem with OVAs, man.
The good, there is one positive thing out of those 3 extra episodes, is that it ended with them, 1, no sex, 2, no longer trying to get at each other.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it ended okay, but like those 2 episodes prior to that last one was just like, I didn't know if I could sit through it, but I had to because I had already watched season 1. Then I watched the good ending because it's based on the visual novel.
Okay.
So there's a good and a bad ending. Crunchyroll only has season 1's bad ending, which doesn't make shit for sense whenever you go into season 2. So I watched season 1, went somewhere else to watch the good ending, went back to Crunchyroll to finish off season 2. Then I was like, this doesn't end right. This doesn't feel like an ending. And I looked it up and was like, no, there's 3 more episodes. Like, oh, fuck me. So I went and binged those 3 within like an hour and a half, and I was like, man, I don't feel right. I don't feel right.
See, that's what happens.
But it was a good anime for the most part, and all the characters are super cute. Kuroniko is my girl. Like, Kuroniko is the best girl.
You know, there's not many animes that I've tapped out on, but that one made me tap out.
I just like cat girls, actually. That's my
I can't do.
Cat girls. I enjoy cat girls. I'm
cat
into
girls.
It.
Yeah, you have a thing for cat girls, and I have a thing to
I
avoid
follow a
incest.
cat girl Twitter page. I just post up cat
Yeah,
girls.
no,
every
I like
half
to
hour.
avoid that as well.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
thank
just
you.
can't do incest. Like
Nope.
when I start watching it, I'm just like, this is disturbing.
Yeah, no, it
Also,
was,
like
it was
Edo
not fun.
Manga Sensei. Like, why is there a trend of dudes and their little sisters?
So that one,
Why?
I actually loved that one too, and it's by the same creator as Oraimo.
Of course it fucking is.
Fortunately, that one, the older brother has no clear inclination towards the little sister. It's the little sister that seems to have some weird inclination towards him.
Which I I still felt like, okay, I almost tapped out. I actually finished that one with you.
I like that
We
one.
finished it, but I told him, I said, look, man, the minute this seems like he wants to be with her, I am tapping out.
See, we talked about this too. It was like episode 7 or 8. It started to become a harem, and I was like, okay, this is awesome now.
Okay.
Like at first, it was like borderline, like, is there gonna be feelings involved? Are people gonna start touching each other and shit? And it didn't. It was just little sister seemed to be really jealous of older brother doing things with other girls. And then it started to become a harem, and I was like, yes,
That's the only
redemption,
reason I finished it.
redemption.
I can do a harem. Like I say, harems are pretty cheesy in and of themselves, and they're very predictable.
Yeah.
But I could do that.
Right.
I could finish that. I was not about to watch a brother-sister love story. I was like,
Nope.
Yeah, you probably will never finish with IMO.
yeah, I'm probably going to. But here's the thing. The weird
I watched
thing
it
is,
for you.
a manga I was reading this over the last couple months is getting made into a series. Citrus.
Oh yeah, citrus.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that. I was like, yes, I am here for the
know.
lesbians. I am here for it.
Which is so weird. I'm so judgmental. It's like, I don't want to watch a guy have sex with his sister, but I'm going to watch these two stepsisters get this on.
Oh, wait,
They are stepsisters.
I just thought they were high school lesbians.
Yeah, dude. They are high school lesbians, and then their parents get married, and then you find out when she gets home, she said, "Yeah, I want you to meet your new stepsister," and it's like the
That's
girl
like
that,
Marmalade Boy. Why are they redoing Marmalade Boy with lesbians?
the
Why?
person that kissed you at school
So I
was
take
your
it you
sister.
watched Sakura Trick then.
Is that the one with like the tiny? No, okay.
It's just two girlfriends in high school, and they just make out every episode.
Okay, I can watch that as long as they're not related.
I don't mind. Like I say, I can watch gay relationships as long as they're not related.
Yeah.
But Citrus, I messed around and I read the manga one day. I read volume 1 and I kept going, I'm not quite sure how I feel about this because this is a damn good story. Maybe I can just pretend they're not related. No, not by volume 2. It's like, oh no, they're pushing this family thing. And they're like, hey, why don't you girls go take a bath? I'm like, they damn near grown. They need to bathe by themselves.
Right, right.
Don't you be doing that.
Well, I would say in Japan that's kind of normal, but over
Well,
here.
like at an onsen or something, or a public bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was at the house. I mean, y'all ain't got to conserve water that way. Y'all can cut this out. Y'all setting up some weird stuff in this house. I don't like your parents. They need to take these kids out and get them help.
I'm just wondering, like, what's the demographic for that?
I'm going to Japan, but
Neat.
I'm just like, I really want to ask somebody, hey man, have you ever wanted to get with your sister? And I don't know how to bring that up in a conversation in Japan.
Don't do it.
I would not ask that because you don't even know how to say little sister.
Oh no, I'm gonna ask you in English.
Imoto.
Yeah.
See, I'm just.
Imoto's little sister.
Yeah, he's gonna make me translate everything whenever we're there.
That's really
Japanese is on Duolingo now, dude.
It's also on.
10 minutes a day. Do the thing.
I gave him a link. Memorize.
Memorize. Yep, he gave me memorize, and I've been
that
trying
was
to
like
practice.
literally somebody like literally took Rosetta Stone and was like, you know what? Let's simplify this and make it free.
And I've been practicing that, but it's gonna be terrible. I have questions. I have so many questions. I do. I just gotta know, is that real? Like, do you have friends that are like that? Now, I'll give you another one. Like, this character almost makes me hate this anime.
Okay.
I've been watching Hajimete no Gal this year. My first girlfriend is a gal.
See, I wanted to start watching that because I love Gyaru culture. I think that's really interesting.
I love all that. The show is funny. Like,
Okay.
there's some laugh out loud funny moments.
Okay.
Little too etchy, little bit graphic on this
Okay,
etchiness.
okay.
But there's this one character on there who loves underage girls a little too much. Like, it's supposed to be a joke that he's a lolly fan.
Lolicon.
That ain't funny.
But no, he is a full out child molester.
Yeah, no, that ain't funny.
At all. And he has basically, the guy you met yesterday, Belly, who was going to be on our episode, the Magical Girls, he and I both were talking about it. We both hate this show for the same reason. That one character is ruining that show. And I think there's 9 episodes out by the time this airs, and the last episode, he got a job at a daycare so he could earn money to go on the summer trip with him. And I was just like, yeah, it went there. Like, thankfully, there were other teachers at the daycare, and so he only went out on the playground with the kids. but you can see him talking to this little girl at one point on the playground, and the conversation he's having with her, I'm like, I seriously grabbed my pillow like this and was like, oh my god, like
Can
it
I
made
just
me
like
feel
reach
uncomfortable.
through the screen and like throw him?
Oh my god! I've never wanted to see somebody just punch somebody into the sky like Team Rocket and make him
Right.
a star.
Yep.
Like I want this guy to lead that show. I hate this character so much, and it's like you have a great show, you have a funny show.
Why did you ruin it?
This one character ruins your show. You can't bring. I don't even want to watch the dub of this because everything he says, I don't want to hear that in English.
Oh God, no.
I was like, really? I want to watch a child molester. Yeah, that's great. That's super funny.
Okay, see, I'm gonna take us out of this tangent because we've been talking about like little sister relationships for a while,
Yeah.
and I think it's time to end.
Yeah, take it
But
away.
you reminded me of one of my picks was Diabolic Lovers because it was based on an Otome game, but that whole anime is basically like non-con the anime. Like this girl gets trapped in a castle full of vampires. And they're like, I'm going to suck your blood now, or I'm going to kiss you now. And she's like, no, stop, like verbally, like, no. And they're like, I don't care. I have more power than you. Like, the whole thing is just like,
That's a little too rape-light for me. I don't
exactly.
like that.
No, one of my friends was like, oh my God, Martha, since you love all these Otome games, you should totally watch this. And I'm like, okay, sure, I can get down with some vampires. And I watched the first episode, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, no, you're not gonna give me rape light and sell me on that. You're
Exactly.
Not like, no.
I'm like, no, ma'am. Like,
not doing this.
I don't care how well it's drawn. I don't care how cute they look. That
I
ain't
can't
cute.
do rape light. You can't. There's just some stuff you can't sell me on and just tell me this is good. Like, and speaking of harems, the harem I hate the most, I gave it the lowest score. It was okay. One of the first manga I collected when I was a younger, more perverse man was Eiken. Okay, Eikeen, and it was the same guy who does Senran Kagura did
Okay.
this.
I was looking up, I'm looking up like people's suggestion on my anime list for Cringe, and somebody put Diabolic Lovers, shut it down after multiple gang rape feed attempts in episode 1.
Oh gosh, see, thank you. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, Eiken. If you look up Eiken, Eikeen. If you look that up, you Google that. I'm telling you right now, I've warned you. It is the most garbage anime you will ever watch. I gave it a 2. There are only 2 animes I ever gave a score of a 2 to, and it was a 2-episode
Where are you rating
OVA.
your animes? Like here?
Huh?
Where do you rate
My
them?
anime list.
Oh, I did it on my anime list. I rated them. That's it.
That's it.
That is it.
But the girls look kind of cute.
Oh
What?
yeah.
What?
What's
What?
it?
What? What?
Yeah.
The pink girl and the boob physics. Like, how does that work?
And she's a little girl.
Like, how does she not like?
She's supposed to be a little girl. Like she's not a small teenage girl.
Oh, God.
She's a little girl. I read the manga. I read it, and then here's the thing: if you get to the 12th volume of the manga, after that it turns into a hentai, and you can't even bring it to America. Yeah, that's episode 2.
Did you see that gif?
That's like
No, in
almost
fact,
worse than high school
the thing you
dead.
just said-
Like, that's bad.
You're actually right. The guy who created this created Senran Kagura. Oh yeah, no, that's why that anime is why I won't play Senran
Yeah, there's
Kagura.
also this.
Oh my god.
Reed's mad at me now.
Was that? Cause there's. Hold on. Is there a girl with green hair in here? Mm-hmm. There was a GIF on Tumblr going around of this girl and her boobs like helicoptered and switched places. That's where that GIF was from. Like she did some kind of like arm thing and they just went.
Yep.
And someone's like, "Did that just happen?" They slowed it down so we could see if it really just happened.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Okay, it's from this."
Yeah, no, it's terrible. It's 2 episodes. I tell you right now, if you find those 2 episodes, you will quit watching anime almost. There's
Just stop the
2 of
genre.
the worst episodes I've ever seen. And like there's a lot of anime that would make me cringe. Those are 2 of the worst episodes out there ever. I hate that show with a passion. With a passion.
Right.
So like when I pick stuff that makes me cringe, that's my one. I'm gonna have to go with that one, like as a harem.
Was that the one in your back pocket, or are we still waiting on that?
No, that was the back pocket.
Okay,
I
yeah,
want you
no,
guys
that's
to.
pretty bad.
Yeah, because when people
bad.
see it and then they start explaining it, then they start looking it up and they go, Just like you. Oh my God, I remember this gift.
Yeah.
I've seen this. I didn't know where this came from. Or the little girl that's knocking herself out and giving herself black eyes because of the blue season.
Yep.
That show was where that came from. It's terrible. It is one of, look, there are a lot of things I would do. I would go light the cross on fire at a Klan rally before I would watch that season.
Oh my God.
I hate that show that bad.
What?
That show is terrible.
Somebody actually put Gurren Lagann on their suggested cringe. Like, that's not a cringy show. It's a badass show.
I don't know, man. Some people do make weird suggestions in there just to be funny, but I'm telling you right now, the ones we named, those are some cringe.
Yeah.
You got another one you want to add in there?
I do. Have y'all seen Girls Bravo?
Yes.
Girl pops out of a dude's bathtub.
Yes.
Then he gets sucked down black hole in said bathtub into a universe where it's all women, and all the women want him because there's no men to procreate. And I'm like,
Yes.
he has no redeemable qualities, is not desirable in the least. Like,
So it's a harem. Got it.
It's a hero,
But
but here's his personality. He is just like this piece of wood. This piece of wood actually supports me. So this here is actually better than him as a character.
yep.
And here's how bad it was. I watched it and I still wouldn't tap out because I was like, I started this one. I'm gonna finish it. I gotta know how this crap ends.
Oh, really? I didn't finish
I
it.
finished it. I actually finished it. You ever finish something and you were like, I'll never get those hours of my life back?
Right? No, I stopped after the banana scene because I was like, nope, can't do it. Mm-mm.
They almost made me to the point where I can't eat fruit on my cereal. Yeah, I don't want bananas in my house.
Whoa.
There was some weird stuff. Like, there were certain things like nobody eats a popsicle that seductively.
Nope.
Like, their summer episode is like, oh, we're going to do fireworks and popsicles. And I was kind of, when they said that, I was like, oh, you're just prepping me for the grossness.
Right.
And hot dogs. And I was just like,
All the cylindrical shaped
yeah, I was like, there's not this much phallic food at any barbecue I've ever gone to.
I'm
Okay.
disappointed in Karakawa now.
You're disappointed in it?
Well, Karakawa is the publisher for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody's got a cash grab somewhere in their history.
Yeah, maybe they were having a bad
It
year.
was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now they have gone for more of a quality over quantity.
Oh
But
god,
Yeah.
yeah. I love everything Karakawa these days.
you won't love this one.
Nope.
I promise you. We're making stuff that is going to make people tap. And here's the thing. There are those people who are watching this and they're going, you know what? I'm going to watch every single one of
Right,
these.
yep.
Because I have to figure out what made them tap out.
Yep.
And to you, I just say have a priest number on standby. Because you're going to go to a dark place in your life.
I'm an ordained minister. You just email us.
Yeah, we will send them out to bless you, but I'm just telling you, you're going to a dark place if you choose any of these. Except Puni Puni Poami. Watch that
Yeah,
one
that
with
one's
friends.
it's cringy, but it's funny.
It is. It had some redeeming quality to it. Out of all the cringe we've named, that's the only one that I can say I would actually suggest that one.
Right.
If you like, I'm trying to think, like Farley Brothers comedies.
Yeah, like stupid humor.
You would love that. But everything else we're naming, it's going to take you to some dark places, and we're not talking the good dark places.
Yep.
Not Madoka Magica, good dark. We're talking like dark, and you're going to really not want to talk
Like
to people.
you're gonna need to call your therapist dark.
Yeah, like if it ranks high on your list of favorite animes, just go ahead and just call that therapist on.
You know,
over.
there's some days where I would actually suggest Oraimo to people, but after we talked a little bit,
You're like, I
watched it
regret
for
that
all.
decision.
I watched it for humanity. Y'all are fine.
Okay.
You're absolved of your sins.
Yeah, you did it, man. I still couldn't, like I told you, we talked about it. You were like, oh, you should love this show. And I'm like,
I just like the characters until those last 3 episodes. Like,
yeah,
I
you
love.
told me you tapped out, and I told you where I tapped
Oh, I
out.
didn't tap out. I watched it all, but after it was over, I pretty much tapped out. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna sweep that under the rug.
So if they
I
brought
don't
a
even wanna
season
put-
3, you wouldn't even go in.
There can't be a season 3. The whole plot, the main plot device is done.
What if they brought back? They said, we're going to
No.
make a season 3 of this.
No.
You wouldn't go back?
Wait, I probably would.
Oh, God.
I just have to see how it goes
He's
on.
like, I'm committed.
I'm already 2 seasons in.
It's a bit of a relationship now with this show.
That's how I am with any show, though. Like, whenever I started, I have to finish it at some point.
Think Reed. You hear that? So, because Reed is sick of me. Because every time Fox, the Fox Spirit Matchmaker which is from Howliners. The Chinese company makes an anime, and then they bring it over to Japan, and then it's translated there.
Ooh, I
And-
should watch this.
You may not want to.
Oh, really?
Is this one kind of?
I love Fox Spirits.
This one's
though.
not really cringy. This one
It's
is
not
just
so cringy,
terribly
it's just
written.
terribly written. Here's what it is. It's just the story can't settle down and it's convoluted, so it just throws you off. But it's one of those. It's one of those.
It kind of has like a weird little lolly vibe to it too. Does the Fox Spirit matchmaker girl is like this tall?
She's supposed to be like 600 years old,
And
but
she's
she
matched
looks
with
like
an
a fourth
18-year-old
grade,
kid.
and she's matched with an 18-year-old boy. And she's supposed to be this goddess that turns into a grown woman when her spirit awakens. But
Oh, wait. I feel like I might have seen that somewhere.
I'll send it.
It's
to
in
you.
season.
I'll send
So-
I'll send
But
you a link
like,
for it.
what we keep returning to this topic. I guess that's just like something that makes us
I think
cringe.
Cringe is. I think we pretty much.
Say
people
lolly is pretty
decided-
cringe.
Yeah.
Shotas are also cringe.
Yeah. I can't see little boys being looked at like that. That's like the whole thing about Orange High Host Club. Every woman I know said, "Oh my God, I would love every one of those." Except Honey Senpai, he go eat a cake or something. I don't.
Right.
No woman looks at Honey Senpai and says, "I want some of that."
Because he's just like, he looks like a small child.
He does, and he's always talking about, "I want cake and I got a teddy bear," and I'm like, "Well, go take a nap so I can holler at your big sister." Okay, get out of here, little man.
Right.
I don't. That show, I love that show, but at the same time, I was like, I'm not comfortable with that character and girls fawning over him. I'm not.
I mean, I think that particular, like the girls in the show, they weren't falling for him like sexually or romantically.
Yeah.
It was just like, you're really cute, like.
And they
cute
were just
child.
like, I just want to baby him like a little brother, and I was like.
But
I'm gonna
then
give you
that is kind of odd in itself, I guess. Like in the way that anime culture presents that, I guess.
I'm gonna give you that one. Yeah, it's definitely one of those. When I watched it, I was just like, I don't know about this, but I did love the series though.
Yeah.
I loved everything about that series. Except sometimes you get a character and you're like, at least that character didn't make me want to tap out.
Right.
Because nobody was
Yep.
romantically chasing him. I think if there'd have been one girl at school that was a little too interested in
Yeah,
Honey
then you'd be
Senpai,
like, bye bye.
gotta go, y'all. Bye bye.
Yeah.
No. So we're I think we're all in agreement. We don't do rape. We
No.
don't do lollies,
No.
and we're pretty much all against senseis. Okay, well we've set that up. That's our cringe factor. Nice to have some defined boundaries in our life.
Yes, healthy boundaries.
I would not say if we're gonna add boundaries to anything. I'm also not a gore guy.
I can't do anything
Like
that's gore.
not like blood splatter. That's fine with me. Like Berserk, that's fine. Well, actually, some of Berserk's pretty gory. But the point remains, like blood splatter, limbs missing, cool. Whenever you're actually goring something, and just
Guts.
like
Yeah,
that's when
eviscerated,
I
yeah.
actually cringe to that. That's the
Yeah.
I'll add that to my cringe list. So yeah, basically no
Did
little.
you do Parasite?
Yeah, actually, that is a big exception because Parasite is so freaking cool.
The story on Parasite was good, but it was definitely some horrifying. Yeah, it was definitely a horrifying element to that.
Just like, is it done? No.
Yeah, that was definitely some stuff that happened in Parasite where I was like, he just bit his wife's head off. Not quite sure how I feel about that. That's kind of gross, and I'm sitting there eating a chili dog. It's like, that's gross. Who wants to watch that? And I'm like, yeah, really? Did I just eat chili cheese covered fries?
There was
hot dog?
technically this is not anime, but it has that kind of style, Castlevania, that Netflix put out based off the game.
Yes.
It's amazing, but like they have some of these scenes where it's just like entrails, and I'm like,
Oh man!
like
He
it was.
snaps that guy's eyeball out of his skull with the whip. Remember, he pops him with the whip and pops his eyeball out,
Yep.
and he throws the eyeball. I was like,
Yep.
that was a little
See, what
drastic.
got me was like the structures built with human entrails, like the tents that had like
Oh,
somebody's
yeah.
intestines stretched and tied to a pole.
Yeah.
No, that was not
They
fun.
went, there's, I mean, yeah, there's like you say, there's this line. It's like I could watch a fight scene, you know, in a movie or action flick, and I'll go, okay, I'm cool with that. But if you're making tents or pup tents out of people's skin and their heads at the front of the tent, I'm gonna have to tap out on you at one point on that. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You've gone too far.
Yeah.
There's a line that I didn't want to cross, and you found it. Yeah. Thanks for that. No thanks. Yeah. So I mean, there are certain anime that I'll just say, hey, I can't do this. You're going way too far with what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I still want to be entertained. I don't want to be grossed out. all the
Right.
time. So, any other ones you got?
This one, I don't know, maybe I should have started with this one just because it's very like low compared to what we've discussed already. And I guess it's just a little cringy, but it's more funny to me. It's a magical girl anime, Kaito Saint Tail. It's like an early 90s anime. And so Kaito Saint Tail, her like magical thing is she's a magician. So she uses illusion and tricks to fight against like thieves and baddies and whatnot. Right. But her assistant, because she goes to a Catholic school, her assistant is a nun. And she prays upon the power of God before she transforms. And the nun will like stay back at the nunnery and like pray for her. And I just...
Wow.
Did you pull it up?
You did.
I like the art style.
The art is
love
gorgeous.
classic anime.
I love like 90s magical girl anime. Mwah, it's like my aesthetic. And like it's a fun anime. It's just I'm like, why the nun? I mean Saint Tail, okay, but like
Wait, did she have a tail? She a cat girl too?
No.
Oh,
Bruh.
ruined it for me.
Bruh. We're about to have a nun pray for you about this thing with you and
pray for
Cat Girl.
myself.
Just get him on a cat girl episode and make him happy.
Oh, no,
my
that's
God.
gonna happen eventually. We just gotta knock out all the genres
Yes.
and
After we finish this recording, I have to show you some prime cat girl stuff because yes.
I'm scared. I'm not gonna look. Yeah.
Have you watched Idolmaster?
Yes.
But there's Idolmaster and then there's Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. One of the Cinderella Girls characters, like her thing is like she always has to wear cat ears when she performs. Cat ears and a tail. She will never not be a cat girl when she's an idol.
If you like idols and music episodes,
I do.
and you love Slice of Life,
I love it.
Idolmaster.
Yeah,
Alright.
dude, because it actually shows like the day in the life of an idol and some of the realities of the industry.
I don't know why
We're
it's
going
not
off
on
topic,
my
Yes,
but
it's a great episode. We're gonna bring you back for that one.
sure.
We need to do when we do our musical episode. I want you to come back to that because there's some good ones in my back pocket for that one too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we'll do
but
that.
Kaito Saint Tail, none. I'm not done with it yet. I'm still like trying to finish watching it. But the first episode just like threw me for a loop. Because I'm like, you are calling upon the power of God to be a magician, and here's a nun praying for the success of like some magic that ain't Jesus. And I'm like, all right, you do you,
That's where you
girl.
going with that. You got one? Or are you adding that to your
Oh,
list?
I'm adding it to my list, sorry. I'm also getting an Idolmaster put on my list just because I need to.
I'm gonna tell you one, and it was so cringy just because it was just a terrible show.
Okay.
It was terrible written. The writing was terrible. The animation was borderline garbage. And I hate to say that about people who pour their art.
Ooh,
in their
animation
heart.
garbage could be a whole nother cringe
Oh
factor.
my gosh, this thing was terrible. It was called Kaiser, XKL, which meant Kaiser's skull.
Like Kaiser as in like German stuff?
Like giant robot. That was it was terrible. Okay.
Macken?
On the rating scale at my anime list, I think this thing averages about a 2. I gave it a 1. It's
Dang,
a
that's bad.
3 episode OVA, and it was so garbagey.
It's the OVAs, man.
It was
They
so
get you.
garbagey. I was just like, it was like a meathead drama. It was like some
Is it
bros named
is it
Chad.
shortened to Macken Key?
Oh no,
No.
don't get me on Mock and Key. That's a whole nother thing. I hate.
I'm just trying to find this Macken Kaiser. Oh, Mazen Kaiser.
Is it Mazen Kaiser SKL? There he goes. I had that bad boy pulled up. It's terrible. It is terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I gave it a 1. 1 is the lowest score you could give a show, and it's appalling.
It's got a 7.4 on my anime list.
Bro,
There's a lot of people who like this that you don't.
I
That
went through
don't
the
agree
hate
with
list
you.
on it, man. Go through the hate. I went with all the haters, and I was like, these are all my favorite posts. It's terrible. In fact, if you watch it and like it, I'll give you $10.
What if I just watch it and I say I like it?
You can't lie that convincingly. We sit next to each other. You cannot lie that convincingly. It's terrible.
This dude looks like Keith from Voltron, straight up.
It wants to be Voltron. It wants to be Voltron. It is terrible. It is meatheads. It's like the only thing they don't do is say, bro,
Bruh.
let's totally jump in this robot and go fight evil, bro. You know what I'm saying? Then we can go to the Alpha's kegger tonight. That is basically
The Alpha's kegger.
that is basically the script for that show. That's actually clever than anything they say on that
Like,
show.
honestly, like, these look like some closeted homo frat boys, like, right here.
They are.
Yep.
They are. It is terrible. Like, and it's one of those things, it was so bad that I wanted to tap out, but I was like, maybe it gets better. And you know how I have that 3-episode rule? And the
Okay.
3rd episode I was done. And I was like, that's the only good thing I could say about this. They only gave us 3 episodes of this.
I looked online, it said 7.
And man, that's terrible.
Huh.
Somebody's over, you know, everybody that gave it those high scores worked on it. We go look at those names who gave it high scores, they all worked on that project.
Right.
Everybody else knows it's garbage. I hate to say that. Reed, man, you got a pick for us? Oh,
Gantz.
because Gantz made you feel.
Sounds familiar.
You still hadn't finished it, have you? Do you remember what episodes you tapped out on? I think there were 2 or 3 episodes left and you just quit. Here's the thing about Reed, and a lot of people, you guys, you know, we always talk about this, and I think we said it on the show. Reed doesn't do anything that has feelings or emotion or makes him feel. Because Reed refuses to cry in front of us. Reed refuses to ever get upset. Well, no, he'll get upset with us. He's upset now with us. But he refuses to watch anything. He said, nope, feels. Like, he won't watch Your Name with us.
Oh my god.
He won't watch Your Name.
You guys tried to get me to watch Scum's Wish right off the bat. So
What's that?
Oh god, I derailed the whole thing. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
I had that one back here too. I was like, oh, let's finish with this one.
Wait,
You knew that was coming.
Scum's Wish?
Yeah, it's a really hard to watch. It's also
It's
really
not hard to watch.
it's a really good manga.
It's amazing.
I read the manga.
Okay, here's the thing. It's just, look.
It's kind of hard to watch for me because I couldn't put myself in that situation, but here I am observing that and just like,
That's what's so hard to watch is that these people are kind of pushed to that limit. And it's, girl, it was so good. It is so good. And if you have an Anime Strike account and you have Amazon, you put this in your watch list today.
Oh, I do have Amazon.
Oh my God. Let me just tell you right now, Scum's Wish is a 12-episode romantic drama.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks very, like, soft.
Yeah, it's not. That's where they fool you. The animation
it's
looks
kind of like
amazing.
Madoka, you know, like they fool you with the cutesy shit and then it destroys
Yeah,
you.
no, these are good-looking kids and characters, and what happens is he's been in love with this woman who's was his tutor, and now she's teaching at his school, and then this girl has been in love with this guy who, she grew up next door to him. It was like her big brother, and now he's a teacher at her school, and these are high school kids, and they're really trying to learn to deal with their emotions, and they've both fallen in love with these senpai characters, and then the 2 senpai characters start dating on the show.
The sensei character.
Yeah, the senseis. And so then here's what happens is that the kids go to each other and say, look, I know you don't love me, and I don't love you, but we can be pretend boyfriend and girlfriend, and when you're with me, you can think of him, and when I'm with you, I'll think of her.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ah.
Right?
I did this while I'm driving. I cringed in the car.
Yeah, no.
Like, I love watching.
Like, that is so unhealthy on, like, 80 billion levels.
No, and then we know it's unhealthy. Like, we're watching it, and we
See,
know
but
this
that's
is not
like
gonna
that's
end
like
well.
a train wreck. You can't stop watching.
And it's-
Because I read a book like that, and I was
Yeah.
going like it was so bad, and I hated myself for reading it. But I was just like, I can't stop.
I told everybody I watched it, and when it finished, like, Belly, hey, did you finish it? Yeah. How do you feel? Empty. Empty. Like, there was no, like, I couldn't smile, I couldn't get happy, I couldn't get mad. I was just empty. I actually had to go watch like 2 seasons of Bob's Burgers. I just turned it on. Just gonna let that roll for the next 8 hours in my life. I'm not.
Oh, I guess it could be an interesting question. What show do you immediately watch to recover from cringe?
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I'm telling you right now, I'm Bob's Burgers, Futurama. I have to get something that's going to feel like meatloaf and mashed potatoes. It's got to comfort me.
Okay.
Because I watch stuff that when you watch it, you're usually wrecked emotionally and mentally. I don't want to watch something that don't make me wrecked, you know.
I usually don't watch something to recover so much as like pain is kind of inspiring to a point because I like to do programming and shit on the set. So I like I'll put on my Warima radio station. Warima is like probably my favorite punk rock band out of Japan.
Nice.
I put that on. It'll just cycle through all these random musicians that are like nice Japanese rock. It also does some nice J-pop and stuff. And I'll listen to that and I'll just go crazy with the keyboard and just like pissed off face and shit, just like jamming, but I'm getting work done.
Right.
That's how I recover.
No. I can't.
That are video games.
I can't write based on that. I can't be in that dark of a space and then say, I'm going to write comedy from this. No. That'll be the darkest set I ever do. Like, I start telling the jokes and somebody would call 911 on me thinking I was going to kill myself. I can't do that. Because I Scum's Wish, come on. If you watch it, I promise you're going to love it. But you're also going to write us, and you're going to be totally mad that I suggested that to you. And I take full responsibility for that. I want you to be emotionally wrecked. That's how much I love you. I just want you to grow as a person. I want you to. This dude is mad because I tried to get you to watch Your Lie in April. I tried to get you to watch Your Name. But here's the thing. The difference between Your Lie in April and Your Name is Your Name is going to make you feel so much better after you watch it. You will feel. You will feel. But it's just an amazing, great love
visually, it's a masterpiece visually.
No, it's beautiful.
So can I watch that?
With the subtitles.
No, you gotta watch something.
You'd still see terrible things happening.
You guys are dicks. See, this is the worst part. I get into good, like, cutesy anime, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome, this is cute. And they're like, oh, you should watch this. And I'm like, yeah, no, because, like, they had a plot.
Yeah.
They're like,
Don't you put that on me. Don't you put it up there. I was the one that saved you from that plot.
I was going to get there eventually. Okay. So these two guys in the group, they're both trying to get me to watch Scum's Wish. And, like, they're like, no, it's good anime, blah, blah, blah. There was a whole plot where one guy was going to just completely devastate on purpose. And Rock was like, man, I can't do that to you. This is what it's about. I'm like, you guys are dicks.
They tried to get him to watch Madoka Magica without a warning, too. It was like, we have a group of friends and we love each other, but Reed should have never told us he doesn't want to feel, because now, at this point, it's now the Olympics of make Reed feel. Reed put that on himself, and I've been like, Reed, look, I'm not always going to be here to protect you. So you need to just watch one or two of these and tell them you did it so we can get this over with.
I can't do it.
If you would finish Gantz, they would stop. Because you know what he told me? He said, I can't watch Gantz because I know what's going to happen these last 3 episodes and I don't want to feel that.
I already know.
I understand that at some points. I do get that. God, when did I stop watching because I didn't want to feel things? I stopped something because my friends were just like, watch it, do it. And I'm like, no ma'am. Oh God. Well,
I'm trying to, Ramo, I tapped
Attack
that
on Titan. I had to stop. I could not. They were like, Martha, that's so good, and season 2 came out. And I'm like, y'all couldn't pay me.
That comes back to that gore factor. Attack on Titan is gory as hell. I mean, they're eating humans.
Yeah, no. It's gore and it's feels. And I'm like, that's 2 things I do not want to deal with right now.
No, Attack on Titan, look, I told you, there are certain anime that you and I had that conversation where it comes down to the Game of Thrones feel. This is going to be an episode where it's like, you like Game of Thrones? Here's some shows you may want to watch because don't get attached to anybody. They're all going to die.
Yep.
That one, Attack on Titan falls in that Game of Thrones feel. And if you're waiting for Game of Thrones to come back, you watch Attack on Titan, I promise you, pick a character. If you love that character, they're not going to be there by season 3.
Nope.
They're all going to die.
Yep.
Just watch it.
This is why I watch the cutesy shit.
Yep.
Bro, don't watch Madoka Magica because it's cutesy and I'm not going to tell you what happened.
Some of the magical girl animes, like from the 80s, there have been like deaths of the main character in some of them series because like magical girls have been dark since inception.
Yeah.
There's just been like different avenues. Like Sailor Moon can actually get really dark once you get past the first season. Like it can get woo. But with some of the cutesy stuff nowadays, you're just it's like eating candy or ice cream. It's happy, it's good. Like besides cavities, like nothing can go wrong when you.
But see, but my thing is, and I didn't notice about me, which means I'm pretty much scarred as a human being. I like watching cutesy stuff, and then when bad things happen to them, I'm like, this is entertaining. Where is this going to go?
This fucker, have you watched School Live?
Yes, I love School Live.
This fucker had no feelings until like the second to the last episode.
Megune was a shot to the heart. Oh my god.
Here's my thing.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
We're not going to spoil it, but off camera, I will tell you why I got all the way to the second to the last episode before I went, you can't do that. Everything else I was like, they're like, this is a hard thing.
No, like the first episode, you're like, yay! And then it ends and you're like,
yeah.
I watched it all in one night with a friend. We stayed up till like 4 in the morning. We were just like, I can't. We have to know how it ends. We can't stop.
I had to get everybody on this.
I binged that one and Madoka Magica. Not the same night, but both of them I binged all
you
at
should
once.
be in counseling if you
If you did that in one night, oh god.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some like slices on my wrist.
Because I did tell everybody this. I kept telling everybody, don't go look it up, just go watch it.
Yeah, no, if you look it up, it's going to spoil the entire thing.
Don't go look it up, just go watch it. And they said, what? Just watch the first episode. And that's all I ever ask anybody. Watch School Live. Do not Google it. Just go find it and watch the first episode.
Yep.
I know it's on Crunchyroll. Watch the first episode. Get to the end of the first episode. Send me the thank you letters. You will love this show. But I promise you, it's not what you think it is. Because it looks like cute.
It looks like your stereotypical school slice of life anime. It's not.
And it takes you on this journey that is the greatest journey you will ever go on. It is
Until we get to the end.
Yeah. And I got all the way through. Like, he was like, how did you get through that and not feel? I'm like, I gave 0 fucks. It was just amazing. I was just like, I don't care.
Until the second to last episode, apparently.
And then second to the last episode, I was mad at the world. I was like, he said, oh, so that's what it takes to break you. I went, I did not know. I didn't know.
I didn't see it coming.
I had a threshold that I did not even know existed until we got to that one. And then the second to the last episode, I was like, I'm not going to cry. I have allergies. I have allergies. Why, Jesus? Why give me these? I love that show. And I still ruin people with that show to this day. I just say, just watch the first episode. Like, I will send you the first episode if you'll just take 30 minutes of your day and watch it. And then the thing they always say to me is, damn it, Roderick, I hate you. And I go, why? They said, because now I got to go watch the rest of this. And I said, that's all I need you to do is watch one episode of it. You'll want to go see the rest of it.
Yep, you'll get hooked.
Yeah, but it's going to put you through something, and I'm not taking responsibility for your mental state at that point. I just love that show.
Do some aftercare, get your plushies, get your blanket.
Yeah, get in a safe space, because I don't care who you are, who you voted for, or what you think about the world. You're going to need a safe space, because that episode is going to trigger something in you. It triggered everybody I know, and that's what I love about it. Except me. It didn't trigger me. I had to get to episode 10, then I triggered at episode 10, and I don't know if it's
like, that's what you watch anime for, is to like relate to the characters on screen and see yourself on screen, even if you may never want to be in that world, but something like at the core of that character and what they're feeling relates to you, and that's why you watch anime.
I watch anime, especially like when it's harems about guys that just like so oblivious that women like them. That is half of my friends. So I'm just sitting there going, that's him. That's him. That's so-and-so right there. That's so-and-so in this one. Because he's funny like that, but he's goofy too. So I watch that for those. But then I watch the dark stuff and I go, I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person. I've done some bad things to people and this is why anime does this to me. I'm starting to relive the bad things
I have
I've
to
done.
repent.
Hey, look, I watched some anime that made me, after school days, I did call somebody and I said, I just want to apologize for you when we dated. School days made me realize some things. I called her to apologize. When we dated, I wasn't the best person I should have been, and I should have been better by you. And she said, what brought that out? I said, I'm just getting older, and I think I just should apologize. And she appreciated it, but I didn't want to tell her. I was watching an anime that fucked me up, girl. I didn't want to tell her that, because then she's going to be like, you're still weird. I said, yes, I am. Okay.
See, some dude sent me a text like that after, like, watching an anime. And I don't know, see, after like months of not talking to somebody and they send you something like that without warning, I don't know, I can't speak for all people who like men, but like, my first thought is like, wow, you think really highly of yourself. Like,
Yeah, I had to apologize. I did. We talked about it. I mean, but it was I had to tap out. That show made me tap out. I was like, I'm a bad person. I really need to apologize. I just got to clear my conscience. I got to start clearing up my records.
we all have shows like that.
There's some where you start thinking about your life and going, I shouldn't have watched that. It was like, like that's that thing where people were watching, what was that, The Passion of the Christ? And the guy was like, I watched the movie and then I turned myself into the police for murder. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, I'm not watching that movie. And everybody's like, why? I was like, people are like going into this movie theater and then coming out and admitting like, this guy came out and told his wife he'd been cheating on her for years and had a secret kid. One guy killed somebody and went and watched the movie, came out crying and turned himself into the police. And I was like, look, I'm not watching that movie. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, come on, you should watch it. I'm not watching that movie. There's some stuff I did Wednesday that I am not trying to deal with. I'm not watching this movie. Nope. Mm-mm. But then I watch an anime that wrecks me, and then I'm like, yeah, girl, I suck as a person, and I just want to say I'm sorry, okay? Yeah. No, I'm cool. Bye. So I had my Passion of the Christ moment, and it was with school days. That's all I'm saying.
The universe is like, you're not going to watch that? Well, I'm going to put it in here.
Yeah, we'll put it here and catch you. Oh, no, not again. Yeah. So you got another one? You good? You got another one?
I think I've exhausted my list.
That's great, man. I think we gave them a lot of cringe, though. We gave them a lot to think about. There's a lot of good stuff. And like we always say, you can watch it anywhere. I know a lot of the stuff that we named, I know is available on the Big Four. Mm-hmm. So when we say the Big Four, that's Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, Funimation. Especially if you want to watch the dub, you're going to find a lot of these on Funimation.
Although Scum's Wish is only on
Scum's Wish is only on Amazon, though. Yeah,
okay,
that's definitely Amazon Anime Strike. I'm trying to think of anything. No, I think everything else is available. Well, and then, you can always go to the unnamed outlets that we never talk about.
Yeah,
Right.
you're gonna have to if you pick up Oraima.
Yeah, you may have to for Puni Puni Poemi, and I'm just going to say.
Yeah, no, that was in like 2001, I want to say. It was a long time ago.
I know Icon is on I actually Googled it one time, and it's on one of some weird website in Russia is all I'm going to say, but I was just like, dumb. Give your computer age trying to watch that one if you want to. Just saying, you better have hella
Honestly,
virus
I think
protection.
Puni Poemi might be on YouTube. Honestly.
I think you're right.
I think it's on YouTube.
Uncut. It's on YouTube Uncut.
Yeah.
I think you're right on that one. Yeah, it's just, you've been warned, that's a group watch. Get a bunch of friends together.
Yeah, don't watch that alone.
Get some beers. Get some beers.
Alone.
We watched it sober and it was hilarious. Get some beers though, and get a good group of friends,
Yep.
and make sure there's one really innocent friend that's there with you because they are going to be so defiled by the end of that episode, and it's going to be hilarious and glorious. I promise you. Martha, thanks for coming on the show. This
Thank
was
you
a
so
lot
much
of
for
fun.
having me. Yeah.
No, we got to do this again. I want you to start thinking about it now. Next, we're gonna eventually do a music episode. That's right up your alley.
Yeah, man. And like not just idols, there are also other like great music anime out there. So.
Because I have one that I'm saving it for you because I love hip hop music, but there was a DJ series that just. So I can't wait to share that one with you. We're gonna definitely set that up for the future.
Yeah, there's a jazz one that I just recently started watching.
Was it about kids on the slope?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and this is what happens when good anime nerds get together. You see all the good stuff you learn. All right, guys, thank y'all for watching once again. This has been Team List Otaku Lounge Anime Roundtable. Our guest was Martha Coleman. Now, Martha, where can everybody find you on social media?
Okay, if you want to hear me talking about like anime trash, otome visual novel trash, you can check out my YouTube channel at Martha Coleman, OHMARTHACOLEMAN. If you want to check out Kira Entertainment for more Maid Cafe, Idols, Cat Girls, and any other themed shows we're going to be doing. I like that. That's good. You can check us out on Facebook at Kira Entertainment, KIRA Entertainment. And we have a YouTube channel and our website linked from the Facebook page. Check us out, and we would love to see you at our next show.
Perfect. All right. They already know how to find us, but our thing is, appreciate all the likes. We appreciate all the emails you've been sending. Please keep sharing the show. Click subscribe, and we'll keep bringing you all this great, crazy anime entertainment. Thanks for listening to the Team Lift Otaku Lounge with your hosts, Zane Lopez and Roderick McDaniel. Please join us again next week as we discuss more things about anime and otaku culture. And be sure to follow us on our Twitter pages at GoTeamLift, as well as our personal pages at AmelianSampsons and at Coach Silky. Please subscribe to our YouTube page at www.youtube.com/TeamLift. And if you have any questions about anime or otaku culture in general, please drop us a line at goteamlift@gmail.com. Thank you so much and have a great week.